Okay, so we've had a few requests from people who watched the sourdough making video on how to take care of sourdough starters. There's quite a few people that I've passed sourdough starter out to. Here is mine. I used to keep it in a mason jar. What I liked about that is you could see the froth going up and down. I used to put an elastic around it. Laura Lee hated it when she had to clean the mason jar because it would just dry on there like hard glue. So I started using these little sour cream containers, and it's working just great. So as you can see in there, there's a little bit of sourdough starter left. In fact, there's quite a bit. There's about a cup left in the bottom of this one, maybe 3/4 of a cup left. But I need to feed it. So if you're going to use it, so tomorrow I'm going to make bread. So tonight I'm gonna feed my starter. So I use a scale. I'm gonna add equal weights of flour and water. And I know tomorrow I'm gonna add 100 grams of starter to my bread. So I'm gonna add 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of water. So turn on my scale, zero it in. Got a big bag of flour from Costco. No idea why it says on the Costco flour that it says do not eat or play with raw flour, dough, or batter. So Play-Doh made with this stuff is completely out apparently. Poisonous. So I've zeroed out my scale. I'm gonna add some flour. I'm gonna add 50 grams. 50, okay, well, and you know what? If I'm off by a bit, it doesn't matter. I'm at 55 grams. So I've got warm water here, warm enough that I can feel that it's warm, but not so hot that it would burn me. And I'll just add 55 grams of that. So I'll get myself up to 110 total. 102, 107, 108, 109, 110. And then what I'll have left in here, I'll just grab a fork and take my starter right in there, give it a good stir. You can see it looks sort of like flour right now, but once I mix it around, it'll look sort of like a mess of gluey goop. And so the starter that's living in there right now is happily loving that warmth and is happily eating up the flour. And I'll let this sit. I'll put the lid on it nice and loose so it can bubble and burp. And I'll leave this, and it will be great to use tomorrow. It would probably be good after 4 or 5 hours. It'll be nice and lively, but overnight is perfect. And then I will use the amount that I need from that. If I'm not gonna use it, I can feed it. I could put this in the fridge right now, and the cool temperature would make it so that it would be fine for about a week in the refrigerator without being fed. In fact, I had it go, I guess, 8 days one time, and when I put in new flour and water, it came to life. So if you're using it every day, feed it every day, keep it on the counter. If you're not using it every day, put it in the fridge between uses, and then bring it back to life whenever you need. So I'll let this sit for a few hours and we'll take a look and see how it looks. Okay, so this starter has been sitting for about 6 hours after I've fed it, and this is what it's looking like right now. You can see it's pretty full. In fact, it was a little more full a couple of seconds ago. Just when I shook it, it bubbled down. I'm gonna shake it again. If you can see in there are quite a few bubbles all over the place, and if I kind of shake it, it jiggles, and there's a lot of bubbles all over the place. So that starter is very active, and that is perfectly ready to make bread right now. So if you go to the other video with the recipes on making bread, you can use this starter to make your bread right from there. If you don't want to use it right away, you can put the lid on loosely and put it in the fridge. This is really full, so you could always pour some of it out too. You only need a little tiny bit to get that starter going. So that's all. That's your starter.